Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka, President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Stefan Mays and Abbas is entreating commercial banks to improve advancement of loans to businesses. Now, reacting to reports of an expected reduction in interest rates following a reduction in inflation rate to 18% in October, Mr. Abbas says the impact on businesses will not be significant.
The difficulty is that you still don't get access to the fund. It means that when you go to the banks, they don't give you the money. They don't borrow you the money.
Why?
The requirements are so detrimental, such that, and it's also because the banks are concentrating on trying to buy the treasury bills and the bonds. Do you understand? So they prefer that as an avenue of investment as compared to bringing the money into industry and into commerce. So that is where access becomes very difficult. The banks are not giving the loans to the consuming public. Okay, so that is where the access is. So the interest can be down, but if they are not giving you the money or borrowing you the money, then you don't get access to it. So it's a zero game effect. It has no effect on us anyway.
I see.
So as much as cost goes down, access should be liberal.
The Bank of Ghana has revealed that it will soon expand the pilot phase of its license passporting framework to Morocco and Nigeria following a successful partnership with the Rwandan Central Bank. This was disclosed by the head of Fintech at the Bank of Ghana, Uriku Asari. He emphasized that cross-border collaborations will enable local fintech players to tap into the continent's estimated $65 billion fintech market potential. More in this report.
According to a study conducted by consulting firm Boston Consulting Group and QED Investors, the African fintech market is projected to reach $65 billion by 2030. To explore ways of unlocking this potential, Precepts Human Capital, with support from the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems (GIPS), Bank of Ghana, and the Financial Intelligence Center, organized the leading fintech seminar. Speaking at the two-day event, which was held in Accra, head of fintech at the Bank of Ghana, Uriku Asari, revealed that Ghana will soon expand the pilot phase of its license passporting framework to Morocco and Nigeria, following a successful partnership with the Rwandan Central Bank. According to him, such collaborations will position Ghanaian fintech players to tap into the continent's market potential.
One of our proudest milestones this year has been the development of the license passporting and interoperability framework in collaboration with the National Bank of Rwanda. This allows, and as I said earlier on, the potential $65 billion valuation that the fintech ecosystem will get to in 2030. Everybody will be able to have, or fintechs will be able to have, unlimited access to different markets. So the collaboration with Rwanda is just a pilot. My session that I went for, we've been discussing a collaboration between Ghana and Morocco before we started conversations with Nigeria, our biggest partners. So that should tell you how serious we take this.
Participants at the seminar, including regulators, industry leaders, and academia, explored emerging trends such as virtual assets, open banking, digital payment, and AI-driven financial solutions. Players in the fintech space called for robust infrastructure to make fintech operations more efficient and less risky.
The Ghana Revenue Authority has launched the Sustained Tax Education Program and the Modified Taxation Scheme to rake in more than 2 million taxpayers in the first year of its implementation. The move is aimed at increasing tax revenues for the country to support national development. Acting Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Kwesi-Sapong, is hopeful the initiative will boost tax to GDP ratio in the next 3 years.
The authority developed the two policy initiatives aimed to simplify tax payment and increase tax awareness across the country. According to the Commissioner General Anthony Sapong, the initiative has the potential of adding more than 10 billion cedis to domestic tax revenue annually.
Estimate that potentially the population of this segment is about 8 million. We plan to target enrolling about 2 million potentially within the next 3 years into the tax net. If we do so with an average of 5,000 Ghana cedis per individual for 2 million people for the next 3 years, will be bringing into the tax net 10 billion Ghana cedis for phase 1. In the phase 2, we'll work to bring in the additional 6 billion into the tax net, and that will bring in additional 30 billion Ghana cedis into the tax net.
Deputy Minister for Finance, Thomas Nyakwampim, hinted that the 2026 budget, which will be presented next week Thursday, will have some tax reliefs for citizens.
Those of you who have been following parliamentary debate, while in opposition, he kept complaining about Ghana's VAT system and that our VAT architecture is too cumbersome and burdensome on the taxpayer. And so he will take steps to restructure it and to reduce the burden on Ghanaians. I'm here to inform you that next Thursday, he will present the 2026 budget to the Parliament and the people of Ghana on behalf of His Excellency President Mahama, and he will fulfill that promise as well.
Speaking on behalf of the President, Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Julius Debra, commended the GRA for such a bold initiative, but urged them to pay attention to night businesses since the 24-hour economy is in full force.
One area I urge the authorities to also pursue vigorously, and which is in line with the 24-hour economy initiative, is to focus on players in the night market economy. Some businesses operate only at night, and it is very easy for them to escape our lenses. However, if we are working around the clock, not just as the frontiers, we should be able to bring all these businesses into the tax net.
The campaign is launched under the theme Promoting Voluntary Compliance Through Sustained Tax Education.
To the energy sector now, and the Social Security and National Insurance Trust Net has disclosed plans to acquire an additional 350 megawatt power plant to support the provision of electricity to parts of the country. According to the Director General of SNET, Kwesi Afrebaini, this has become critical as the country's energy demand grows and the need for an investment in the sector. He spoke to journalists.
Investment has been good. The value of that investment has more than doubled since that investment was made. 2, we also have a responsibility to be a market player. We are providing power for the people of Ghana. We are providing employment for people who do not have jobs. By bringing in that new 110 megawatts power plant, new engineers have been hired, new accountants have been hired, new admin staff have been hired. The more we improve on the investments we have and expand, not only are we collecting contributions for the Ghanaian worker, but we are also providing employment opportunities. But crucially, all these investments are defined by prudent investment returns that we want to see.
Beyond its investment in Ghana's extractive sector, the Australian High Commission says it is committed to building the capacity of the country's human capital. Speaking at the launch of the Made in Africa Extractives Media Fellowship Program, a 6-month capacity training to abreast journalists of trends in the extractive sector, Bernice Owen-Jones, Australian High Commissioner to Ghana, charged journalists to focus on impact-based stories which will promote sustainable socio-economic growth.
Designed to be the first of its kind in the sub-region, the Africa Extractives Media Fellowship brings together journalists, academics, industry practitioners, and policymakers with a mandate to tell the story of the country's extractive sector. Out of more than 300 applications, 30 journalists were selected as part of the first cohort of the program. Speaking at a soiree to launch the program, Australian High Commissioner to Ghana, Bernice Owen-Jones, urged journalists to be circumspect in their reportage.
Our contribution to the Africa Extractive Media Fellowship will allow us to continue to support that kind of capacity building here in Ghana with a focus on responsible journalism, human development, and gender equality. The fellowship provides journalists with the tools, exposure, and mentorship needed to tell nuanced, impactful stories about the extractive sector.
Fellows will undergo training in data journalism, environmental and climate impact, gender equity, and community development within Ghana's extractive economy. Kwachi Afrenyama, program lead of the Africa Extractive Media Fellowship, expressed optimism that the fellowship will equip journalists with the necessary skills and insights to tell impactful stories.
Our hope is that by the end of the 6-month journey, these fellows will not only leave with strong technical skills, but with a deeper sense of mission. That is, to tell stories that shape, challenge power, and give voice to the voiceless.
The stock market now, and the Ghana Stock Exchange has reaffirmed its commitment to expand investment opportunities in the financial market as it marks 10 years of the Ghana fixed income market. The following report has more.
The Ghana Stock Exchange has launched activities to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Ghana fixed income market under the theme Deepening Markets, Expanding Possibilities. Managing Director of the Exchange, Abena Amoa, said the GSE remains focused on providing long-term capital to support businesses and drive economic growth.
All we want to do is continue to work with our policymakers and the business sector to translate this confidence into more permanent and sustained environment so businesses can invest, because no one wants to invest when things are uncertain. We can only invest long term when there's certainty in policy, there's certainty and stability in the macroeconomic environment. Then companies will expand and create jobs and create products. And we at the exchange are ready to facilitate the raising of the long-term capital to support that economic growth.
She also outlined plans to further deepen the market and create broader investment opportunities over the next decade.
We want to see 100 companies admitted on this market, raising capital through different products and giving investors an opportunity to support their transformation. We want to see government broaden the use of the GIFIN to include areas that can create more economic development, including the issuance of infrastructure bonds, municipal financing, SOEs, state-owned enterprises listing and raising debt capital to develop our economy.
The milestone celebration underscores the exchange role in strengthening Ghana's capital market and promoting sustainable economic development.
A while longer, the Ghana Stock Exchange, and we know as part of efforts to fight the growing trend of unregulated investment scheme, the Ghana Stock Exchange, in collaboration with the Young Investor Network, has unveiled the National Investment Quiz and the National Stock Pitch Competition. Jerry Boachi Dankwa, head of marketing at the Ghana Stock Exchange, told Joy Business that tailored efforts targeted at the youth will be needed to improve financial literacy.
The unveiling of the National Investment Quiz and the National Stock Pitch Competition signaled renewed efforts to drive financial literacy, especially among the youth. Both programs were initiated by the Young Investors Network with support from the Ghana Stock Exchange. Speaking at the unveiling of the competitions, Executive Director of the Young Investors Network, Kofi Buzia, shared more light on the initiatives.
A stock pitch competition, we are training students to understand the real-world financial analysis. So the students pick companies in the real world, like the Ghana Stock Exchange, to analyze them and conclude on whether investors should buy, sell, or hold. So with this, investors or students will be able to advise their own selves. They will be investment savvy to make decisions in the market on their own. So with the National Investment Quiz, they are senior high school students, and most of their schools too, even though they don't read business as one of their courses on campus, they've been able to qualify to this level. So we are incorporating in them financial literacy skills to make personal decisions, to be able to advise themselves in times of making investments, and also to grow.
Rebranded from the Capital Markets Quiz to the National Investment Quiz, the competition will see 32 senior high schools battle for the ultimate trophy, while 10 finalists will seek to convince a jury with their pitch at the National Stock Pitch Competition. Jerry Boachi Dankwa, head of marketing at the Ghana Stock Exchange, believes that engaging the youth in thought-provoking competitions on investments will significantly improve financial literacy.
We will continue to support this initiative because we don't see this as just one of those corporate social responsibilities. We see it as something that we are doing to better the lot of Ghanaians, something that we are doing to also ensure that at least when people invest and save for their future, they will have better pensions. So we are looking at it beyond just a CSR, but something that will actually give people a comfortable pension, to make people more financially independent, and to better the lots of Ghanaians.
The National Investment Quiz and National Stock Pitch competitions are organized by the Young Investor Network in collaboration with the Ghana Stock Exchange, the Central Securities Depository, and Absa Bank.
You're still watching Prime Business. We have more for you after this break.